Out to neutral ice. Fisher with it now. On the backhand. Down the ice it goes. Inside Massena territory. Picked up there by DeRosie. Raiders lead it 1-0. We're in the first period. Here comes LaPointe trying to make a stick handle move. Has it knocked away again by the Stoners. Comes to the red line. Charlie Durant just flips it high in the air, and that's going to go up into the stands. And we'll have a face-off. 7:25 left, period 1 on the Corky scoreboard. Raiders lead at 1-0.
Sandstoners came out here flying and had an edge in territorial play. They behind 1-0 on the scoreboard. They're even winning the battle of the pits. Mike LaPointe's been put on his backside, and Charlie Durant that time. Jonathan Hughes just decked him, and Tommy Orman laid a good lick on Mike LaPointe.
Off the face-off, Raiders control it, dump it in the Potsdam zone. Potsdam defense, Tommy Orman trying to clear it to the blue line and out to center ice. Cameron's there to bang it ahead, right back in the zone. Puck goes in behind the net. Potsdam D again trying to control it. Ormond bounces it, doesn't clear. Here's a shot by Girard, deflected up into the glass by a defenseman. Comes to Justin Walsh. Walsh trying to backhand it in the corner. Meacham is there. Meacham centering pass. Walsh knocks it just wide, goes after it behind the net. He gets tied up trying to go to Meacham. Around the boards it goes. Cameron pinches in. Flips it in behind the net for Walsh again. Walsh can't get to it. It's Ormond instead. Tommy Ormond with a puck, and he flips it ahead. And the Stoners break out of there. Jonathan Hughes with it. Here comes Hughes across the blue line into the Massena zone. Gets by the check. Walsh trying to knock him down. Walsh goes down. The puck comes around the boards to the blue line. Kelleher looking to keep it in. Here's an opportunity for Potsdam. The puck poked away, picked up by Meacham, and he bounces it out to neutral ice. Potsdam controls. Here's Kelleher. His shot from neutral ice goes wide. Puck picked up by Cameron behind the net. He's going to wrap it around on the other side for Girard. Girard starts it ahead. Bounce pass out to neutral ice. Kelleher again for the Stoners. Dumps it right back in the Massena zone again. Back after it there is Cameron. Cameron rips it around the boards. Kelleher trying to step in front of it. Now the puck along at the 45. Raiders control again. They'll try the other side. But Weegar is there. He can't control. Comes to the blue line out to center ice as the Raiders clear it. Puck bouncing around at the red line. Picked up by Girard. Trying to go ahead to Meacham. Meacham just looks up ice and finds Weiskopf. Weiskopf checked off the play by Kelleher. Kelleher trying to drop it ahead to his forward. It bounces to the Massena line, and Cormanius is there. Nick gets knocked down, gets back up again, trying to whack at it, but the puck goes in the Massena zone. Cameron ahead to Girard. Girard bounces for Weiskopf, back to Girard. Here's Bubba with it, ahead to Cormanius, breaks across the blue line, has it knocked away. A nice check by Kelleher. Here comes Potsdam. They got a partial break. If Abe Adams can catch up with it, he's in the corner, though. The puck a little bit too far, taken out of the play. Nightingale rips it around the boards, out to the blue line, but not out of the zone, kept in. Here's a shot, that's fired wide. Puck around the boards, still in the Massena zone. Finally, it's out by St. Thomas. Potsdam controlling the puck. Back into the zone it goes. Here's Adams again. His shot. Zach makes the save and holds on for the faceoff.
Again, the Sandstoners applying a lot of pressure around Zach Long, but with 5 minutes left to go in the first period, the Raiders still lead 1-0. We mentioned the Sandstoners really aggressive out there, forechecking, throwing their weight around, and Joey Weiskopf just got blindsided. It was a good check, but he didn't see Nate King coming, and he put him on his backside. So the Sandstoners flying out here, but they can't beat Zach Long in this early going.
Mike Mankey's out to take the face-off against King. Off the draw, Potsdam wins. Here's a shot, and that's wide. Puck around the boards. Potsdam looking to control. To the blue line, they keep it in at the point. And dump to an open wing. Nightingale after it there for Massena. He gets railed. Puck comes to the Stoners, centering pass. Zach with it. Knocks it behind the net again. Comes into the circle. Massena looks to move out. Mankey's along the boards. He just rips it into the Potsdam zone, dumped right back out again down the ice. And that'll be an icing call against the Sandstoners and move the faceoff back in Potsdam territory. 4.5 left to play, first period. And on the Corky's Collision scoreboard, it's 1-0 Massena lead.
And the Raiders, who usually dominate the opposition in that first period, outscoring them something like 18-4, have had the tables turned somewhat here in this first period. Definitely the Sandstoners have an edge in play.
Hoos will face off against Jeff Day off the draw. Puck kept in by Durant, trying to flip it down the middle, but it's knocked back out to center ice. Here comes Hoos. Jonathan Hoos trying to flip it in front, but it goes wide into the corner. Trying to hit Yannickas, he couldn't catch up with it. Yannickas in the corner now. Puck still there. Finally it's picked up by the Stoners. They move it back to the blue line. Kelleher's shot got blocked by Mike LaPointe, and he just backhands it out to neutral ice. Kelleher skates back at his own blue line to pick it up for Potsdam. Flips it ahead. LaPointe drops it to the Massena blue line to Rosie. Oh, headman to Day. Got away from him. Goes in on Sloan. He has to make the save. Picked up by Kelleher. Around the boards it goes to Yannikis. Yannikis being bothered by LaPointe comes back to DeRosie. He flips it in behind the net. Picked up there by Smith, the big Potsdam defenseman. His pass intercepted by LaPointe. Here's LaPointe, dipsy-doodling in the corner. LaPointe with a puck goes back to the blue line to DeRosie. Eric DeRosie with it, bangs it back into the corner again. Day gets tied up, stays with it. Now LaPointe trying to shovel it through. It's knocked away, and the Stoners will move it out to center ice. Here comes Potsdam. That's Kelleher. His shot bounces into the corner, in behind the net. Racing for it there. The Stoners try to knock it behind. Picked up by Durant. Goes around the boards for DeRosie. DeRosie, he gets tied up in behind. Kyle Yulin there battling for it. DeRosie wins the battle, flips the puck around on the other side. Potsdam, though, comes up with it in behind. We got a delay penalty on Massena. And our first penalty of the game will go against the Raiders, and it's going to be Charlie Durant, I believe, for holding.
Probably roughing, Jerry. We'll wait and see. Charlie might have given him a little shot there, but Sandstoners, as we mentioned, applying all kinds of pressure. And going to go on a power play with 3:03 left. But again, the only goal in this period coming at the 3:55 mark, Justin Walsh with Mike Cameron and Mike LaPointe picking up the assist.
Faceoff will be in the Massena zone. Let's see, who do we have out there to kill? Meacham and Walsh. Cameron and Gerard for Massena. We've got John Hoos out there on the Potsdam power play. Puck in the corner. Picked up there by Potsdam's Kyle Yulin. Yulin in behind the net now. Gets tied up by Cameron. Stays with it. Cameron just looking to waste a little time. Puck around the boards into the corner. Yannikis has it knocked away, but Yulin picks it up. Here's Yulin stepping around in front, trying to go to Fisher, knocked away. And Meacham picks it up and fires it down the ice. Sloan comes way out of his net to play it ahead, but coming back after it is Andrews. Flipping it out to neutral ice, intercepted there by the Raiders. Weiskopf out now with Cormanius on the penalty-killing situation. Headman pass goes to Weegar. Weegar takes it across, flips it around behind the net. Gerard racing for Massena, trying to flip it out of the zone. Kept in at the point momentarily, but now the Raiders clear it, and down the ice it goes again. Weiskopf got a stick on it that time. Here's Jonathan Hoos. Hoos has dropped back to play the point now on the power play. He flips it ahead, but Cormanius knocks it away. Potsdam does clear it out to center ice. Hard check thrown there by Bubba Gerard. He says, oh, there's the puck. Flipped ahead by Weiskopf back into the Potsdam zone. Sandstoners look to move it ahead, and they cross the zone. Here comes Fisher. Fisher in the corner. Cameron trying to take him out of the play. Puck comes in behind the net. Cameron picks up the puck, flips it along the boards. Now it comes to Weiskopf, back to Cameron. Cameron finds the leverage and gets it out to center ice. Here comes Cormanius. He's going to have a breakaway. Cormanius skating in on goaltenders. Cormanius shot, save. No, he scores! Nick Cormanius with a shorthanded goal. There was a delay penalty, and the Raiders go up 2-0.
Sandstoners on the power play, but it wasn't a very effective power play. And, in fact, I don't think they had a shot on goal. And as time was running out, young Mr. Cormanius, Nick Cormanius, intercepted the puck at the blue line. The couple of Sandstoner defensemen got, you take it, no, I'll take it. And Cormanius broke away with two defenders on him, but he went in, little backhander that Jason Sloan should have had. And that was another soft goal, I'm going to say. He should have had it, thought he had it. Little backhander that I think rolled up his arm and in. And Massena leads 2-0.
I thought he had it. I really did.
I did too.
And so Cormanius picks up another a shorthanded goal, I should say. There was a delay penalty on the call as well. Had he not scored, there would have been a penalty on Potsdam.
That's the Raiders' fourth shorthanded goal, all scored by
he has all
Nick
four of
Cormanius.
them? Okay. Here comes Potsdam, though, across the blue line. The centering pass right across the goal mouth, but it was behind the other Potsdam forward, and the Raiders try to clear it. Don't clear the zone, though. Puck bouncing around in the corner. Fisher after it there. A minute to play in the period. Puck racing for it there is Abe Adams back to Kelleher. His shot deflected in front. Doesn't get through. Puck in the corner. After it there, Massena's Day. He moves it free. Massena still having trouble clearing the zone, though. Comes back to the blue line. Smith, a bouncer. Right on, rebound in front. Nice save. Long rebound. They score. And that's going to be Abe Adams getting the goal. as the Raiders failed to clear the puck about 3 times in a row. Zach made one real good save, gave up a big rebound, though, and Adams was right there to backhand it by him, and Potsdam scores to make it 2-1.
And you can't do it all. He made 2 saves in there, gave up that rebound, but he wasn't getting any help from his defense or his forward. Those Potsdam Sandstoners were just floating through that crease area, and it was Abe Adams that backhanded on the 3rd attempt, backhanded that into the net. And boy, you hate to give up a goal at any time, but that last minute is a real demoralizer.
Especially right after Massena scored a shorthanded goal. But the Raiders continue to lead it 2-1. Puck bounces to the Potsdam blue line. Here come the Stoners back the other way. Here's a shot by Hughes. Fired wide. Puck in behind the net, picked up by DeRosie. He looks for Meacham. Meacham, his backhand pass intercepted, dumped back in the Massena zone. In the corner, Charlie Durant trying to flip it around the boards. Knocked away. Durant stays with it, though, to the blue line and out to center ice. Charlie has it poke checked away. Back comes Hughes into the Massena zone, but Durant is there to break it up. Ahead to Meacham. 5 seconds left. Meacham winds his shot, and the save made, and there goes the buzzer. So the period ends. The Raiders were outplayed in the period, but end up going to the locker room with a 1-0 lead, or 2-1 lead.
Yeah, a good fast-paced period, and I definitely would give the edge in territorial play to the Sandstoners. But as you mentioned, Massena is on the long end of the scoreboard, 2-1. They got on the scoreboard first at the 3:55 mark. Justin Walsh with Mike Lapointe and Mike Cameron. Potsdam has sustained some pressure and kind of got, I think, a half of a change. Half the guys not sure they should go on or off, and a little slow making that change. But Mike Cameron sent a long rink-wide pass up to the opposing blue line to Mike Lapointe, who busted in that right side with a defenseman all over him, got off a little backhander that the Potsdam goaltender, Jason Sloan, had and should have held on to. He didn't. He gave up the rebound, didn't tip it to the corner, and in came Justin Walsh. He pounced on it like a cat on a mouse and had the wide open net. Sloan was even out of position, and he put it in the wide open net. And then at the 13:29 mark, Potsdam on a power play, the Raiders shorthanded. Potsdam not putting on any type of pressure at all. Nick Kermanius at the end of the power play beat a couple of Potsdam defenders at the blue line, went in 180 feet down the rink and went to his backhand, didn't fool Jason Sloan. Sloan went with him to the short side, and when Kermanius put the backhander, it hit him. I thought he had it up, but it went up the arm and down over his back, and unassisted goal, 2-0 at the 13:29 mark. But then at 14:20, Abe Adams from Fisher, I think that's Greg Fisher, will pick up the assist in a second, but that was at the 14:20. Massena got a little sloppy in their own end. Potsdam had a couple of good opportunities. Long made 2 saves in a row, but Adams picked up the rebound and batted it into the net.
So it's a 2-1 game for Massena after 1 period of play here. And the saves in the period, yeah, the shots on net, believe this or not, are 10-4 favoring Potsdam. How often does that happen? Massena goaltender Zach Long with 9 saves. Potsdam goaltender Jason Sloan with just 2 saves. But on the scoreboard, the Raiders lead at 2-1. They've got to make some adjustments between periods and come out firing on all cylinders in this second period. Again, a 2-1 score on the Corky's Collision scoreboard, favoring the Massena Red Raiders. Our broadcast brought to you by Reynolds Metals St. Lawrence Reduction Plant. Working together, their quality shines through. By Coca-Cola Bottling, East Orvis Street in Massena. By Nationwide Insurance at 229 East Orvis Street in Massena. Also by Coach's Corner, 191 Park Avenue in Massena. Upstate Water Systems. Call for information at 769-1406. By the North Country Savings Bank, 22 Phillips Street in Massena. Also by Paris Excavating and Environmental Control Corporation, located on the Massena-Winthrop Road. By the Massena Savings and Loan Association, 121 Main Street, Massena. Massena Optics, 55 Main Street, downtown Massena. Also by Homestead Dairies, located on West Hatfield Street and at the corner of North Main and Maple Street in Massena. And by the members of the CCOM Federal Credit Union, 30 Stern Street in Massena. We played 1 period here at the Massena Arena. The Massena Red Raiders leading the Potsdam Sandstoners on a score of 2-1. Let's go back to our WMSA studios. We have ABC News by tape delay. We'll be back with the start of the second period in just a short time. More of a surprise in the play, Dave. Potsdam definitely with territorial advantage and better part of play in that first period. But the Raiders, taking advantage of a couple of goaltending mistakes by Potsdam, lead it 2-1.
Yeah, I think Coach Long and Coach Latham probably telling the youngsters we're fortunate that we're up at the end of this first period because Potsdam outplayed us. There's no question about that. You don't have to look at the shots on goal, and they were something like 10-4, but a good edge and territorial play. They sustained more offensive thrust than Massena did. Massena, maybe on one or two occasions, were able to sustain some offensive pressure, but Potsdam was beating Massena to the loose pucks. They were winning the battle along the boards, and they certainly handed out the stiffest checks in that first period. So that's unusual. I haven't seen all the Massena games, missed the first 5 or so, but the last 4, this is something different. I haven't seen that before, and I'm sure the Raider coaches have got a few things to say in that first intermission.
Oh, I wouldn't be a bit surprised. This is the first game this year that Massena hasn't pretty much controlled the first period. Normally they come out flying, and then they've had some trouble in the second period, but this game here, it was Potsdam controlling the first period, despite the fact that the Raiders are ahead 2-1. So Massena has to make some changes. They got to start hitting a little bit. They've got to control the puck in their own end. They had a little problem. It resulted in a goal, as a matter of fact. Massena did not clear the puck in their own end and had some problems with it.
Yeah, and as we mentioned before, Potsdam goaltender Jason Sloan, a little shaky on a couple of those. I'm sure he'll get stronger as the game progresses. But the Sandstoners give them full marks. They've come out here flying. If they had a few more youngsters that could finish around that net, I think in talking to Coach Joe Stark in pregame and that, he said they're a hard-working crew, but they do have trouble finishing. And that was evident here in that first period. Didn't go to the net a couple times when they should have, and then when they did go a couple times, they were a little slow and didn't handle that puck in that slot area. But full marks. They're short on the scoreboard by a goal, but they certainly were long on effort in that first period.
And we want to make a change. We've been calling number 21 for Massena, Jeff Slack. He has been wearing that number and playing, but Kyle Wells is back. He's missed the last few games, but we've just been informed that Kyle Wells is wearing 21 tonight, and we apologize for that, but so Kyle Wells is back wearing 21, playing on that fourth line.
Well, we'll have to just blame that on Coach Long and Coach Latham that they don't give us a pregame up-to-date roster. Like Coach Joe Stark is good about that. Every game he comes with his lineup, and he's got all the stats on there, which is really nice. But no, I didn't know that. I thought it was Jeff Slack, Kyle Wells' first game back.
Who is that behind us?
Buddy.
Is that young David Peets?
That is.
Yes, indeed.
But
yes, indeed. Well, it's good to see him. Hi there. How you doing?
Not going to say too much.
No, he's pretty shy.
Well, when he gets going, he's not too shy.
Kinda, why did they have to bring that along, though?
I have no comment on that one. I don't know.
You're the president of that company? I'll bet you Maribeth has something to say about that.
I can't say too much. He did me a few favors this afternoon. I had a little ice on the roof, a little bit, just a little bit, and he got up there. And
so you finally smartened up and don't climb up on the roof anymore?
Yeah, that's a long story. Well, I don't know about smartening up, but I don't get up there right now, that's for sure.
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know what it is about junior high teachers and ladders, but they don't go together.
Oh, that's chemistry that doesn't work. They just filled those a couple years ago. I fell off my roof trying to get the ice off and broke my ankle. But it's not one thing, it's something else.
That's right. Well, the Potsdam Sandstoners are back out on the ice, and we have yet to see the Massena Red Raiders. In fact, the officials had to go to the locker room. So Coach Long obviously not happy with that first period effort, and he is having a few words to say to his team.
I'm sure the Paul Patterson, the recreation director, and his crew will maybe have to do some repainting. The walls are probably blistered inside that locker room. They might have to redo the Massena locker room after this game. But I'm not surprised that Coach Long and Coach Latham are holding them in there and giving them a few extra barbs, so to speak, and I think they deserve it.
Absolutely. That's probably the worst period they played this year.
But let's not take anything away from the Sandstoners. They played an excellent first period, and they richly deserved a better fate to come out behind by a goal, they deserve to probably be up by a goal or more.
Yes, that's right. Well, here comes Massena back out on the ice, led by goaltender Zach Long. And Zach will be defending the goal to our right. He had 9 saves in that first period, and a pretty good first period, made several good saves. And, of course, Jason Sloan, the Potsdam goaltender who had a rough first period, will be defending the goal to our left.
Yeah, the goal that the Sandstoners got on Zach Long, as you mentioned, had an excellent first period. Late at the 14-20 mark, he had made 2 initial saves and didn't get any help clearing that puck. And Abe Adams finally backhanded the 3rd attempt in, and that was Adams' 4th goal of the year. Scott Fisher picking up that assist. The Raiders' 2 goals coming from Justin Walsh and Nick Kermanius.
Well, the Potsdam Sandstoners coming back to their bench. Coach Joe Stark and assistant coach Mad Dog DeRushy. And Brian Kirsch is their trainer. He's on the bench. Of course, Tim Long and Ed Latham for the Massena Red Raiders. And the Raiders come back to their bench. We'll be ready to start this second period here in just a moment. Again, the Raiders are leading it on a score of 2-1. Fortunate lead, I guess you could say. And Massena hopefully can build on that lead and play a little better second period.
Well, time will tell. These 2 clubs, when they hook up, it's regardless of the record performance in previous games, they always provide entertainment for the fans.
Off the faceoff, puck in the Massena zone. DeRossi with it, flipping it on the wing for LaPointe. LaPointe taken out of the play. Puck dumped back in the Massena zone. Charlie Durant back after it. Durant picks up the puck, rips it around the boards, comes back to the blue line. Smith keeps it in, flips it back in behind the net. Durant again. He'll go to LaPointe on the other side. Mike will go right back to Charlie. Charlie looks up ice, picks up a forechecker, rips it along the glass and out to center ice. Smith back to pick it up for Potsdam at his own blue line. Smith moves it ahead, knocked away. Back down the ice it goes, and that's going to be an icing call against the Stoners as the whistle blows and the faceoff will move back inside Potsdam territory. Just underway in the second period. Raiders lead it on a score of 2-1 on the Bob Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard.
That icing resulting from a Potsdam defenseman thinking that his forward was breaking up the ice, and he was actually breaking to the player's box for a line change. And face off to the left of Jason Sloan.
Meacham out there with DiAgostino and Walsh for the Raiders. It's the Hoos line for Potsdam. Puck in the Potsdam zone, off to the icing. Stoners, Yannickus with it. He gets tied up. Puck comes to Meacham. Meacham flips it on the other side, goes on the defense for Larry Allen. Allen trying to move it ahead to Yannickus. Yannickus has it knocked away. Bouncing puck in front. Backhand bounces, doesn't get through. And it's picked up by Hoos. Hoos trying to clear it to the blue line, doesn't get out of the zone. Kept in there by Gerard. Flips it again in behind the net. Meacham has it knocked away. Gets knocked down. The puck bounces free. Here's Bubba Gerard, winds it up, and Sloan's going to glove it. It was not a very hard shot, but Sloan decided after that first period he's going to hold on to anything that comes his way.
And marking the hits, if you were recording, which we're not, the hits in the game, the Sandstoners had an edge in that first period, and they start right off, and they put a good lick on big number 22, that fine young sophomore, Eric Meacham, just got railed by the Potsdam defenseman, Marty Andrews.
Now it's going to be the Cormanius line out there against the Beauvais line. Off the faceoff. Raiders try to control. Kept in by Nightingale. The Cormanius. Nick steps to the side of the net. Has it knocked away at the last second by Fisher. Good job back checking. Nightingale trying to keep it in on the corner, but it's knocked away. And it trickles all the way down the ice into the Massena zone. Adam Barkley there. Around the boards for St. Thomas. He just bangs it out to center ice. Here comes Cormanius. It's off to the races. Stops at the blue line. Trying to center it through. Trying to make it through to Joey Weisskopf, but he went in behind him. And the Stoners defenseman Kelleher picks it up, rips it around the boards. Barkley can't catch up with it. Down the ice it goes. And all the way back in the Massena zone. Barkley after it. Barkley trying to flip it through. Potsdam controls. They bounce it to the blue line. Here's the drive. The save made by Zach Long. And he'll hold on for the faceoff. Little pushing and shoving in front of the net. And I think we're going to have probably matching minor penalties out of that little fracas, as Adam Barkley will pick up a penalty, and maybe that's it. No, it's going to be matching.
Good opportunity for Potsdam that time. The puck came out of the corner to the right of Zach Long, and the Raider forward and the Potsdam forward kind of hooked up with each other, couldn't get to the puck, and it came right back to the point, and Timmy Kelleher stepped down. He could have walked right in on top of within 20 feet of Zach Long, but he elected to one-time it and didn't get a lot on it, and Long was able to corral it.
Kind of a chest-high shot right at him. And there is matching minors. It'll go to Adam Barkley and to Abe Adams of Potsdam, probably both for roughing.
Adam Barkley, fine young sophomore defenseman. That's his first penalty of the year after 9 games, and he's a regular blue liner.
Here's a chance for Potsdam right off the faceoff, fired wide by Marty Andrews. Charlie Durant corrals the puck in the corner, looks up ice. Massena just trying to break out of the zone. Here comes Jeff Day with it. Jeff Day down the left sideline. Andrews takes him out of the play. Puck bounces back in behind the Potsdam net. Headman pass out to center ice. Here come the Potsdam Sandstoners. That's Kyle Hewlin trying to flip it through. Goes to Hoos. Hoos back to the blue line. Cross ice pass and a nice one. Here's the drive, fired wide. Puck around the boards, kept in by Larry Allen. Now it's stolen by Lapointe. Here comes Lapointe down the left wing. Mike Lapointe with a puck, winds up, his shot is wide. Bounces to DeRosie, who's in on the other corner. He flips it in behind the net for Lapointe. Lapointe circling, centering pass in front. Here's a chance for Day, and he couldn't corral it. Puck bounces free to Potsdam, and Hoos breaks back the other way. He's got a man breaking through the middle. It's Andrews. He gets knocked down, and the puck bounces in behind the net. Andrews and Hoos both go after it. They run into each other, and we're going to have a roughing behind the net on Mike Lapointe. And it looked like the two Potsdam players ran into each other, but apparently Lapointe was there to put a hit on him too, and he picks up a roughing call.
And that time, defensive lapse. Sandstoners broke up the middle. Both defenders went to the Potsdam forward, and fortunately for Massena, he tried to get the puck back to a trailing forward, and fortunately for Massena, he couldn't get it back because both of them went to the Potsdam forward, and both collided and fell down, and it would have been a clear break in for the trailing forward. The Sandstoners came within a whisker. A good play. Larry Allen slid it over to his defensive partner, Tommy Orman, who really drilled one and had Zach Long beaten to the glove side, but just wide.
4-on-3 power play for Potsdam for the next 28 seconds, and then it'll be a 5-on-4 penalty when they get the matching minors back. Who's out there to take the face-off against Nick Cormanius? Face-off in the Massena zone. The puck won by Hoos, but Cormanius comes up with it somehow and flips it down the ice. Hoos tried to move it to Jeremy Bove, and Bove kind of mishandled it, and Cormanius stepped in front of it and knocked it down the ice. Right back comes Bove. Bove into the Massena zone, trying to get around DeRosie. DeRosie forces him wide, takes a whack at the puck. The bouncing puck all the way down the ice. Again, Nick Cormanius in on that to flip it down the ice. Here comes Timmy Kelleher. Poor Potsdam has it knocked away by Cormanius. Cormanius trying to stay with him, but Kelleher comes up with it. Starts back the other way. We got a couple of players back for both teams now, and it's a 5-on-4 power play. Here comes Fisher. We got another delay penalty. Shot right on. Save made. And the whistle blows. And who's the penalty? A tripping call.
Against Justin Walsh. He got a knee out on Timmy Kelleher right here at the blue line, and no question, a good call. Kelleher dancing down that right side, dipsling, doodling, and in and out. And he put a move on Justin Walsh, went around him, and Justin got that knee out and upended him. And referee right on the spot, so the Raiders get one back, and then they lose one.
Potsdam also getting one back, so the net result is a 2-man advantage for 49 seconds.
Potsdam's look good at even strength, but they haven't looked good on their power play.
But they got a big power play now. Let's see what happens. Charlie Durant gets tied up in the corner. Puck squirts free. Weiskopf after it. Puck picked up by Durant. He flips it, doesn't clear the zone. We have a whistle, and we got an unsportsmanlike conduct against Potsdam. Charlie Durant got away with a penalty, tripped up the Potsdam player. That's Fisher, and apparently Fisher said something, and that'll nullify the 2-man advantage.
Boy, do those hurt. Not only nullifies the 2-man advantage, but Potsdam had control of the puck back to the point and set up in good position on that power play. But number 44, Scott Fisher, said something to the official. Boy, that's a bad time, a bad call, but certainly a bad time to take it. A good call by the official.
Yep, apparently he thought that Massena should have had a penalty, and maybe they should have, but he said something, and that's an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, and that'll give Massena a little bit of a break. Oh, We've got an injured player down. Charlie Durant was trying to clear the puck, and it went right into the face mask of the Potsdam player. And, he's getting up slowly, but I think he's going to be okay. That's Kyle Hewlin.
Yeah, kind of took him on the side of the head, Jerry, right around the ear area, but he's up, and I don't see any blood. But you mentioned Charlie Durant just golfed it out of his own end from the corner to from Zach Long's left and wanted to clear the zone. And Hewlin coming across and took it right on the side of the head. And Coach Joe Stark and the trainer, we mentioned before, every time we play Potsdam, they have one of the luxuries, Brian Kurish, I think he's an EMT, as yes. The trainer for Potsdam. And boy, that really is so beneficial to the coaching staff when you've got a medical personnel that are trained, can handle any type of injuries like that. It just alleviates a lot of worry from your mind and allows you to get back to the coaching aspect. But Brian Kurish is looking at Kyle Hewlin right now on the bench. But
20 seconds left in LaPointe's penalty, 1:01 in Walsh's penalty, and 1:10 in Fisher's penalty. Faceoff moves outside the Massena zone. Off the draw, Potsdam controls the puck. It's Larry Allen trying to flip it ahead. Knocked away, and the Raiders dump it down the ice. Allen's pass didn't have much mustard on it, and that allowed the Raiders to break up that play. Potsdam with a puck in their own zone, looking to move it ahead. All the way down to the Massena line. Here comes Hoos. They got a 2-on-1. Centering pass in front of the net. And Smith will get the goal as Hoos flipped it over, and Smith looked to me like he got a skate on it, but I guess it was his stick.
He got the stick on it. Just a beautiful goal by the Sandstoners. Number 22.
And that'll
Captain
tie it
Andy
up.
Smith coming down the middle, and Jonathan Hoos down that left side. It was a 2-on-1 break for the Sandstoners. Captain Charlie Durant in the middle played it right, but beautiful pass by Hoos, and the back checking forward for Massena got back and was on top of Smith. Good job hustling back. I forget what number it was, but Smith just put this blade of the stick on it. The pass came across. He just put the blade, reached out with the blade, and Zach Long went across, thought he was going to go to the glove side, and as he opened up, stretched those legs to cover that far side, he opened up the 5-hole, and bingo, that's where the puck went, right between the legs, and a big goal and a beautiful goal by the Sandstoners.
That'll be a power play goal, I believe. No, the penalty had just elapsed as Mike Lapointe had just come back but was not in the play, so as a result of a power play, but not a power play goal. And the Stoners tied up, a 2-2 tie. Potsdam with a puck in the zone, but Massena clears it. Down the ice it goes. It's going to trickle right on Sloan. He has to make the save, so no icing. Both teams with a man in the box. 2-2 tie hockey game here on the Bob Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard. Here comes Jonathan Hoos for Potsdam. Hoos takes it across. Oh, nice move. But he can't get the shot off as Cameron broke it up. Puck in behind the net. Mike Lapointe with it. Here comes Lapointe. Turning back the other way and leading the attack from Massena. Lapointe breaks down there. Raiders get a man back. Lapointe shot right on. Sloan almost missed it, but holds on for the faceoff.
Again, that tying goal for the Sandstoners at the 4:42. Captain Andy Smith from Jonathan Hoos and Abe Adams. Adams sent Hoos away on that left side. Got the Raiders on a 2-on-1, and just a beautiful pass by Hoos and a great job by Andy Smith reaching out and just directing that puck between the legs of goaltender Zach Long.
4 seconds left in the Potsdam penalty to Fisher. 9:35 left in the second period. We're all tied up at 2. Meacham with a face-off from Massena. Potsdam controls off the draw. Here come the Sandstoners. Into the zone it goes. Puck in front, the shot, save, and a big one by Long. Huge save by Zach Long on the great play by Potsdam. Walsh takes it out to center ice. Justin gets by one check, stays with it, tries to move it ahead, throws a hard check. The puck comes to Cameron, and Cameron dumps it in the zone. Zach Long just made a dynamite save on the Stoners as they threaten to take the lead. Puck in the corner, Anthony DiAgostino going after it, trying to move it back to the blue line. Cameron can't keep it in. Yes, he did keep it in. DiAgostino goes to Walsh. Here comes Justin with it. Digs in front. Short side shot on the backhand. Save made by Sloan. Here's a shot from the point. It's blocked. And down the ice it goes. There's going to be a foot race for the puck. And racing there is Abe Adams trying to go by Cameron. And the puck comes in on Long, and he'll flip it into the corner. Massena controls it out to center ice. Potsdam picking it up again. Trying to flip it ahead. DiAgostino is there. Moves it to Meacham, and Meacham dumps it in behind the net. Puck comes around the board. Stoners try to move it out. Kept in there at the point. Goes to Cormanius. Cormanius leaving it in behind for Weiskopf. Weiskopf has it poke checked away. Puck around the board. Stoners look to move it out. Kept in again by the Raiders. That's Cormanius. Cormanius in a big pile up side of the zone. Still in the zone. Finally the Stoners come up with it and lift it high and hit the... Well, that hit the ceiling, didn't it? No, it didn't. Okay. Stayed on the ice surface, but Massena controls. Here comes Cormanius. He backhands it in the Potsdam zone. Picked up by the Potsdam defense, Larry Allen. Trying to rip it around the boards. Raiders are in there digging for it. Cormanius, after it in behind the net, looks to center in front. Weiskopf. He fanned on the shot. Great opportunity for Joey Weiskopf. Now Cormanius goes back to the blue line. Barkley, good job to keep it in. He cranks it up. The whistle blows in front. What do we got?
That's off the mooring.
Okay.
Two glorious opportunities. Okay, young Kyle Hewlin is going to the, taking him to the locker room. He's got an ice pack on the side of his ear there, or in the left ear. Trainer making his way across the ice. Massena missing a glorious opportunity. Joey Weiskopf coming out of the corner right across the crease. Had Sloan beaten, had him down, and lost control at the last minute. Just on the other way, coming back that line of, I think it was Abe Adams, Captain Abe Adams. A great pass coming down that left side. Put it right on Nate King, who went to the net. And King one-timed it, the same motion, almost identical to the previous play when they got the goal, but Zach Long made a great save.
Closed the legs that time.
That time, yes.
Off the face-off, puck in the corner. Mankey's line out for Massena. Potsdam controlling it. Out to center ice. Here come the Sandstoners. Yannickas flips ahead for Hoos. Hoos centering pass in front. They got a man free. Big save by Zach again. Whoa! Puck to the blue line. Deflected shot right on. Puck goes in the corner. In behind the net. Raiders try to come up with it. It comes free. It's picked up by Kyle Wells. Drops it back to Charlie Durant. Around the boards to Wells. Has it bounce away from him, but the Raiders control it out to center ice. Picked up by the Potsdam D. Moving ahead for Fisher. Here comes Fisher back the other way. Takes it across and into the corner. Back to the blue line. Here's the drive. Deflected in. And Potsdam goes ahead 3-2. I think the goal is going to go to John Yannickas. The shot came from the point. And Tim Kelleher.
Kelleher took the shot, and I'm not sure if it was Yannickas or not. One of the Potsdam forwards, there were a couple of them parked in front, along with a couple of Raider defensemen, redirected that, changed directions, and Zach Long had no chance. A lovely low shot from the point by Kelleher. Just prior to that, Potsdam almost broke the tie when Hoos went down that left side, sent the pass across the middle. Both Raider defensemen let Scott Fisher go right down the middle, and only a great save by Zach Long kept him off the scoreboard there.
Here comes Mike Lapointe now off the face-off. Flips it around the boards, and that's deflected up into the wall. And we'll have a face-off inside Potsdam territory. 3-2 now. The Stoners has come back with 3 straight goals after Massena's first 2 and have taken the lead.
Well, that goal at the late 14-20 mark of that first period, when Massena thought they were going to come out with a 2-0 lead, gave a big push and momentum to the Sandstoners.
Off the face-off. Puck in behind the Potsdam net. Archek thrown, stays in the zone. Here's Lapointe. His shot right on. Sloan makes the save. He looks a little shaky here tonight. Puck comes to the blue line out to center ice. Here comes Potsdam back the other way. Into the zone is Jeremy Bove. Backhand shot hit the side of the net. Bouncing puck along the boards, kept in at the point. Smith shot right on. It gets by Long. Did it go in the net? No! They wave it off.
The light came on. I don't know what the goal judge was. He thought it was in, but the official was right on the play, right on the goal line, and he immediately waved it off. Potsdam coaching staff want a little discussion with the referee on that one, but the referee right on top of the play, Bobby Preston, and he said, no way. Good opportunity for the Sandstoners to go up by 2. That go-ahead goal at the 8-12 mark, John Yannickas from Timmy Kelleher and Scott Fisher picking up the assist. Back to the point, Fisher threw it back to Kelleher, got that bullet low drive, and Yannickas, as you mentioned, you called it, Jerry, parked in front, redirected it by Zach Long. We got a penalty on the play.
Penalty
Mike Cameron's in the box.
Apparently, Cameron picks up a penalty.
Sandstoners on a roll right now, but I tell you, they picked up the pace from that first period.
Off the face-off, Raiders control. Meacham flips it around the boards. Kept in by Potsdam. They're on the power play. They lead 3-2 as well. They center in front. The puck knocked away. Bounces top of the circle. Back to the blue line. Kelleher keeps it in. Goes to Hoos. Hoos winds up. A shot right in front. Big save by Long. Bouncing in the net. No! Kept out by Long. Little pushing and shoving in front. But Zach somehow kept it out. And the face-off will be, again, in the Massena zone.
Oh, the Sandstoners were counting that one up. I can look across the way, and the coaching staff just shaking their head. They had that one registered. I think it was number 10. Yannicus again had the wide open net, delayed pulling the trigger, and didn't get a laugh. He would have went to the short side, didn't pull the trigger quick enough, and allowed Zach Long to get across the crease, and Zach got a piece of it, and then the rebound came out to, I think it was number 14, Uyghur out there, Aaron Uyghur, and he had an opportunity to put it home and couldn't capitalize.
So now penalties are called, matching minors to Potsdam's, let's see here, who is that? To Marty Andrews, and from Massena, Justin Walsh, probably for roughing. That was after the play, after the whistle.
After the whistle, just a huge pile up in front of Zach Long, and pushing and shoving by everyone. And in that case, you just, I guess the referees take the two closest ones, and one from each team. But Sandstoners really putting on all kinds of pressure. Massena back on their heels right now. Potsdam scored the only 2 goals of this second period to go ahead 3-2, 5:51 left in this third period.
DeRosie out there now along with Charlie Durant and Cormanius, and probably, well, yeah, that is Weiskopf. Cormanius with a puck, he skates it out of the zone. Here comes Nick Cormanius, flips it down the ice. Inside Potsdam territory. After it is Weiskopf, he's going to leave it and let the Potsdam defense pick it up. Kelleher flipping it ahead. Goes all the way to the red line, then dumped into the Massena zone. Charlie Durant after it. Picks up the loose puck, trying to rip it around the boards. Weiskopf gets a piece of it. Comes back to Kelleher at the blue line. Kelleher flipping it free. Here's a chance in front. The shot, the save made. The puck clear to the blue line, kept in by Kelleher. Now comes back to the blue line. Kelleher again. He shoots it, knocked down, and the Raiders clear it. Weiskopf dumps it down the ice. About 20 seconds left in the power play as the Raiders make penalty-killing changes. Here comes the pass, knocked down momentarily by the Raiders. Now Hoos takes it across, drops it at the blue line, cleared back out to center ice. Dumped by Durant to an open wing, coming back after it, Abe Adams. Adams drops it for Kelleher. About 5 seconds left in the power play. Potsdam moves it across. Hoos, he's got a man breaking. He fanned on the shot, and the Raiders come back the other way. Here comes Massena's LaPointe. Winds up, fakes the shot, offsides will be called. I think Cameron didn't go back into his own zone is what the problem was, and that's what the whistle is, and that's what they're going to call. Mike Cameron came out of the penalty box. He went to within a foot of the zone, but didn't go all the way, and that's what the call is.
I've got to come back inside that defensive zone, and again, the officials right on top of it. We've got a Lake Placid connection. Mike St. Louis and Bobby Preston calling the game here tonight.
Okay, back to even strength. Potsdam leading 3-2 on the Bob Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard. Second period. Off the draw. Puck dumped in the Potsdam zone. Andy Smith with it. Loses it. Here's Kerwin. Right in front. Backhander. Shot. Score! Click. Kerwin ties it up for Massena on a giveaway by normally steady defenseman Andy Smith. And Kerwin scored a beautiful goal on the backhand.
Oh, no one feels any worse than number 22, Captain Andy Smith, and his teammates trying to console him. Inside his own blue line at the top of the circle, and could have cleared the zone, and for whatever reason he didn't, just kind of mishandled the puck, and Clint Kerwin just came down that left side and tipped it by him, walked right in, went across the crease from his forehand to backhand and beat Jason Sloan along the ice, and that's a real big goal for the Raiders. Get some momentum back here.
Cameron moves it down the ice, bounces off a player, icing waved off. Puck in behind the Potsdam net. LaPointe throws a check, Kerwin picks up the loose puck. And Michael's going to pick up a interference call. Ew. That was close.
That tying goal at the 10:33 mark. Clint Kerwin is second of the year, unassisted. And this game is tied 3-3.
LaPointe picks up an interference call. The puck was very near when he called that, but apparently not near enough.
Not near enough, and the Sandstoners going back on that power play. They haven't looked that polished on the power play. We mentioned they look a little stronger when they're even up.
Our cameraman says that was within a gimme on the golf course. And I know how those guys play, so that must have been pretty close. Off the faceoff, puck in the Potsdam zone. Stoners again on the power play. They control the puck to the Massena line. Here comes Abe Adams across the blue line, skates in the corner, looks to set it up, flips it along the boards. Great puck right across the goal mouth, but nobody could handle it. And Cormanius picks it up, flips it ahead, but didn't get it out of the zone. But now it's out center ice as Potsdam does the job for Massena. Here's the puck intercepted by Cormanius again. Winds up the drive. Big save by Sloan as Jason Sloan kicks it out of there. I'll tell you what, Cormanius needs about a half a step, and he is gone. Here's Hoos just flipping it in the Massena zone. Puck kept in by Potsdam in the corner. Marty Andrews centers it and goes all the way down the ice. Back into Potsdam territory. 3-3 tie hockey game here in the second period. Here comes Potsdam. Back across the blue line, Abe Adams. I see that number 17. I keep thinking of Big Jack Charlebois. Potsdam trying to flip it to the open wing. DeRosie's there to find it on the backhand. Down the ice it goes. About 15 seconds left in the LaPointe penalty. Stoners control, looking to move it up ice on the power play. Long headman pass to the blue line and across it goes. Here's the shot. Ooh, that didn't miss by much, but it goes out to neutral ice as the power play has elapsed. And Mike LaPointe's back in the play. Puck across the blue line, into the Massena zone, back out again. Headman intercepted, dumped right back inside Massena territory. Charlie Durant looking for it. Gets by the check, but the puck comes bouncing free in the corner. Picked up by the Stoners. Hard check thrown there. Meacham comes away with the puck. Flips it ahead to LaPointe. Here comes LaPointe by way of Cameron. LaPointe takes it in on the right side, gets tied up. And the puck comes in behind the net. LaPointe goes down, and there's going to be a penalty. And it's going to be an interference call on Potsdam as Massena will go on the power play. And I saw Mike St. Louis, the official. He was waiting for the Potsdam player to let go of him, and he didn't.
I think, Jerry, that it's going to go on Justin Walsh. And Potsdam's going to get one, too, but after the fact.
Oh, okay.
You're right on the first call, but Justin Walsh is also going to pick up a penalty. Mike St. Louis thought the Potsdam player thought he could get away with this. He was kind of slinking over to the bench trying to get in the box before he knew Massena had one coming, but he thought he could get on the bench and kind of evade his penalty, but nothing doing. So that's going to be a wash. I don't know. I'm not sure what Justin Walsh is, but we'll wait and see. 2-11 and a tie hockey game.
Interference. Yeah, that's the initial call. Uh-oh. Unsportsmanlike.
Well, you and I both know what that means, and the Raider players at this stage should know what that means. Unsportsmanlike conduct penalty means you sit for 2 periods of the next game, and that's why we haven't seen Timmy O'Shea out there for the first 2 periods of this game. But they should know that. It's right there in black and white, and
you got to keep
watch what
your
you say.
mouth shut. Off the faceoff, Raiders control. Cameron shot. Save made by Sloan. Puck in behind Cormanius to LaPointe. Back to Cormanius. Cormanius in the corner, looking, rips it around on the other side. LaPointe gets knocked down. Now, if that wasn't an interference, I don't know what was, but no call as the puck kept in the zone by the Raiders. Cameron's in behind the net, looks to center, hits the side of the net. Cormanius corrals it, goes back to LaPointe, who's at the point. He winds up his shot, knocked down in front. Cormanius shot, save! And the puck cleared into the corner. Massena trying to put a little pressure on here in the waning moments. Cormanius shot, glove by Sloan. He was going to drop it and changed his mind and holds on for the face-off.
In my opinion, that's the most sustained pressure the Massena's had in this almost 2 periods shy of minute 33 of this hockey game. But and I think that's the strongest that young Mr. Sloan has looked so far. A little shaky, as you mentioned early on, and he's the last several minutes gotten a little stronger. Made a couple of good saves in there and decided, hey, let's hold on for a face-off, regroup here.
Off the draw, Weiskopf trying to get the shot off, and he just can't. As he was tied up, here comes Smith for Potsdam. Andy Smith across the blue line, off sides, and You could see that one coming. And the forward on the left side just didn't know what he was going to do. And he kind of just slid into the zone. That was Abe Adams. And Smith just kept coming, and the offsides.
And Abe kept gearing it down and down, getting slower and slower and slower, but not slow enough.
Off the face-off. Puck comes to the red line. Stoners control. Here comes Marty Andrews into the Massena zone. Into the corner, knocked away by Charlie Durant. Durant tries to clear the zone. Kept in by Andrews out to the blue line, but nobody there. Puck dumped back in Potsdam zone. Delay offsides. Durant picks it up over to DeRozzi. DeRozzi moving it ahead to Meacham, intercepted. Back comes Potsdam the other way across the blue line. Durant intercepts again. Flipping ahead for Meacham. Here comes Meacham down on the right wing. Meacham in the corner. Trying to get it by Smith. He does. Now he gets knocked off. The play comes to the blue line. DeRozzi trying to tee it up. Couldn't. Flips it in behind the net. 3-3 tie game. Here's Weiskopf after it. Along the boards. Has it knocked away. And Potsdam's got a man breaking. If they can get it to him, they can't. And the puck kept in the zone by Meacham. Good forechecking by Meacham. Potsdam finally clears it out to neutral ice. Into the Massena zone. Offsides will be the call. No, Massena clears it. Ahead to Cormanius, goes by him. With 18 seconds left, Sloan leaves it in the corner for Smith. Smith gets tied up, comes up with it, flips it ahead to the blue line, back in again. That'll be a delay offsides. Walsh touches it, and the face-off will come outside the zone. 7 seconds left in the second period. We're all tied at 3 in the Bob Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard.
Veteran forward Scott Fisher went off with some type of an injury to the bench. I'm not sure what it was. He got hit in the leg. Just prior to that, he had an opportunity. Massena's putting on pressure. 9 seconds of the game. You don't want to be cute. You just want to clear your zone. Had all kinds of time to clear it, bank it off the boards. He gave it one of those love taps back to the Massena defenseman who just ran it down the Potsdam throat. You just can't, especially from your veteran players. You know, your youngster just coming up, well, you can see that. But not if you've been around 2 or 3 years.
Off the face-off, puck in the Potsdam zone. They clear it out again. It'll trickle into the Massena zone. And that'll just about take care of the period right there. As Potsdam scores 2 in the period to Massena's 1. So we'll go to the third period, all tied up at 3. Our broadcast on WMSA brought to you by Seacom Federal Credit Union, 30 Stern Street in Massena. By Homestead Dairies, located on West Hatfield and at the corner of North Main and Maple Street in Massena. By Massena Optics, 55 Main Street, downtown Massena. By Massena Savings and Loan Association at 121 Main Street in Massena. Also by Paris Excavating and Environmental Control Corporation on the Massena Winthrop Road. North Country Savings Bank, 22 Phillip Street, Massena. Also by Upstate Water Systems. Be sure to call them for information. The number to call for Upstate Water is 769-1406. By Coach's Corner, 191 Park Avenue in Massena. Nationwide Insurance at 229 East Orvis Street in Massena. Coca-Cola Bottling of the North Country and Reynolds Metals. St. Lawrence Reduction Plant. All sponsors making our broadcast possible.
Entertaining 2 periods of hockey. The Sandstoners that might have been felt that they got shortchanged just a little bit in that first period came back and got the first 2 goals of the second period to go ahead 3-2. Massena again late coming at 10:33. Clint Kerwin on kind of a gift that the Potsdam defenseman presented him, and he didn't make any mistake. That's a big goal. That was at the 10:33 mark, and up until that point, the Sandstoners were really taking it to Massena. After that goal, I think that gave the Raiders some impetus and kind of took some of the momentum away from the Sandstoners. In the last 3.5 minutes, 4.5 minutes of that period, Massena was putting on the pressure. But one change from the first period, when we only had 1 penalty, we came up with 11 penalties in that period, Jerry. 8 to Massena and 4 to Potsdam.
Potsdam's goals coming at the 4:42 mark. Andy Smith. From John Hughes and Abe Adams, and it was John Yannickas, a beautiful deflection from Tim Kelleher and Scott Fisher. As you mentioned, Kerwin's unassisted goal was a beauty. He really did a nice job on it. He was handed a gift from the Potsdam defenseman, as you mentioned, took advantage of it, and that may make the difference in this hockey game. If there is a turning point in the game, that could be it.
Yeah, and full marks to young Mr. Kerwin, who had the presence of mind not only to, I mean, he's playing up in that big line with Captain Mike LaPointe and Jeff Day. and he's taken full advantage. He's had some nice moves early this year. We commented on a couple of his plays. And he stripped the Potsdam defender. Actually, was at Andy Smith, who lost the puck right at the top of the circle to the right of Jason Sloan, and Clint Kerwin playing that left side. Picked it up and just went down and cut in, went across the crease and got Jason Sloan down and slid a backhander right along the ice, and that was a real big goal.
Saves in the period. Both goaltenders had 7, so a little more even period along those lines. Funny, though, Potsdam really dominated the first period. Massena scored more goals. This time fairly even, but Potsdam had the edge in goals 2-1. So the saves were 7-7. The shots 8 for Massena, 9 for Potsdam. And through 2 periods, Potsdam outshooting Massena 19-12, which is fairly unusual. You mentioned penalties. Lots of penalties in that period. Let's take a look at them. At the 2:07 mark, matching minors for late hits to Adam Barkley and Abe Adams. Then at 3:09, Mike LaPointe picked up a roughing call. At 3:50, Justin Walsh picked up a tripping call. Potsdam had a 2-man advantage for exactly 9 seconds, because then Scott Fisher from Potsdam picked up the unsportsmanlike, and what happened was Charlie Duran, I think, dodged a tripping call, and Fisher, unhappy about it, said something, picks up the unsportsmanlike call, and nullified the 2-man advantage. 8:48, Mike Cameron picking up a hit after the whistle for Massena, and then at 9:09, matching minors Justin Walsh and Marty Andrews of Potsdam for a late hit. And then the interference call against Mike LaPointe at the 10:47 mark. And then it was Jeremy Bove, picking up an interference call at the 12:49 mark. Also at 12:49, after the fact, Justin Walsh picked up an unsportsmanlike penalty. And they served those penalties without any problems. In fact, we did not see any power play goals despite all those penalties.
And I think Coach Joe Stark will probably talk to the youngster Scott Fisher, who picked up that unsportsmanlike conduct one. That, to me, it was the biggest penalty of the game up to this point for the Sandstoners. They're up by a goal, and the momentum's really flowing, and they're going to have a 2-man advantage, and had control of the puck in the zone, setting up, and with the number 4, Kelleher, who is the quarterback in that power play. They sometimes use the overload. Looks like tonight they're using that umbrella at times, but he's the trigger man back there. Smart hockey player, and a nice low shot in possession of the puck back at the top of the blue line, and bingo, Fisher gets that unsportsmanlike, and everything stops, and instead of having a 2-man advantage, you're back to a 1-man, but it takes some momentum away. Big call, and I know Coach Stark is going to mention that to young Scott Fisher.
3-3 tie through 2 periods. We have 1 15-minute period to go, maybe, and we'll be back with that in a few minutes. Right now, let's break for ABC News by tape delay. We'll be back with the 3rd period in just a few moments.
St. Lawrence Central 4 and Salmon River 5, and I think he's beaten the Larrys 3 times this year.
Yes, he has.
So
yes,
maybe
he
he'll drop another one in the rankings after.
Now, Shamrocks, they have a good club. And they've had injury problems just like Massena has this year. And I don't know if they're back to total full strength, but they are getting better every game.
Speaking of standings, the state rankings just out today, and we got a second here. Neither team is back on the ice as Zamboni's finished. Maybe we'll go over them. Division 1, in the first rankings of the year, out of Section 5, Greece holds down the number 1 ranking with a 10-0-1 record. In the number 2 spot, Buffalo St. Joe's with a 7-1-1.
Then in 3rd spot, it's Bishop Timon that plays in that Catholic school league in the Buffalo area as well. They are 5-0-1. Massena in the 4th spot in the rankings at 7-2.
And then out of Section 3, the Oswego Buccaneers, that are always tough, with a 6-1 record in the 5 spot. In the 6th slot, the team that we'll see this coming weekend, the Saratoga Blue Hens, I think it is.
Blue Streaks.
Blue Streaks. I knew it was blue something. Out of Section 2 with a 10-1-1 record. And in the 7th spot, Ithaca out of Section 4 with a 7-2 record.
Number 8th ranked team in Division 1 is West Genesee. They're a Section 3 team. They're 9-1-1, followed by Suffern. We'll see Suffern on Friday night. The Mounties are 7-0, and then Shenandoah out of Section 2. They're 8-2, and they're ranked number 10.
Did you say that's the Mounties? That's not the Ducks, right?
No, it's not the Suffern Ducks.
Not the Suffern Ducks.
It's the Mounties.
Okay. Over in Division 2, last year's Division II state champion, and good club, real good club. Team out of Section 3, Clinton, with a 7-1 record. They're back again, big, strong, aggressive. And Irondequoit out of Section number 5, that's down near Rochester. They're holding down second spot with an 11-1 record.
Then it's, as you mentioned, Salmon River and St. Lawrence Central. In the coaches' poll, they're ranked 3 and 4, the Shamrocks, so now they're 8 and 3. St. Lawrence Central, we haven't heard their score yet against Alex Bay. St. Lawrence Central 8 and 3 coming into tonight's game. And then New Hartford out of Section 3. They're 9 and 1. Their only loss coming to St. Lawrence Central.
And speaking of the tie was Greece, that was
St. Francis.
Yeah, 1-1, I think. And the number 6 spot out of the Section 6, Williamsville South. And 7th, Baldwinsville, they're out of Section 3. And number 8, Pelham, down out of Section 1. All I can think of is that movie, Pelham 1, 2, 3.
The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3, yeah.
They're 7-0.
Troy LaSalle, a team we saw in the Massena tournament. Team Massena beat out of Section 2. They're 7-5. And then Skinny Atlas out of Section 3. They're 5-4-1 in the 10 spot. So that's the first rankings of the year. Of course, doesn't really mean anything except give us something to talk about.
That's right. Fill some time.
Okay, we're about ready to do some more talking here as we get ready to head into the third period. And we're all tied up at 3 apiece, Massena Red Raiders and the Potsdam Sandstoners. We've got Jeff Day's line coming out from Massena. Day, LaPointe, and Kerwin. DeRosie and Durant are playing the points for the Red Raiders. We have yet to see the Potsdam Sandstoners' fourth line, and my guess would be we're not going to see them in the third period. Massena playing 4 lines tonight, Potsdam playing 3.
Yeah, I think Mike Lamson might have got out there a shift, and Brad Wilson possibly 1 shift. Not as a unit, though.
And let's see here, coming out for Potsdam, which unit are we going to see going against this Day unit from Massena? It's going to be the King Adams Fisher unit for Potsdam, Allen and Ormond. No, excuse me.
No one wants to play center on this.
Okay, there we go. They're going to drop Fisher back at the point, apparently. That's right, Fisher does play defense, we're told, at times. Off the faceoff, puck comes back right in on Zach Long, and he leaves it for Charlie Durant, who rips it around the boards to LaPointe. LaPointe's headman intercepted back across. Offsides will be the call as the puck came back across the blue line, right back in the zone.
We mentioned at the end of that second period, late in the period, Scott Fisher went to the bench in obvious discomfort, came out here on this first shift, and he lasted about 7 seconds and went directly to the bench limping. So we'll see if I thought we'll see him back again.
Maybe that's why he was playing defense that time. Ormond is now out there. Here's DeRosie with it, flipping it ahead into the Potsdam zone, back after Larry Allen, the Potsdam defenseman. Allen rips it in behind the net. Raiders trying to forecheck. Potsdam controls and moves it across the blue line. LaPointe's there to intercept, takes it right back across, slides it through the middle, knocked away. Kerwin picks it up, can't get the shot off. Puck comes bouncing free. LaPointe gets a whack at DeRosie. Score! As Eric DeRosie came in from the blue line, it was a big maze of players in front of the net, and DeRosie just picked it up and slid it through, and Massena takes a 4-3 lead.
And that all started with a careless giveaway. The Sandstoners plenty of opportunity to clear the zone, got a little careless. Puck just inside the blue line, 5 feet, had time to clear it, didn't. Massena kept it in. Mike LaPointe had a shot. I think Jeff Day had a shot, and you mentioned Potsdam. Kerwin had a shot, and Eric DeRosie drifted down. He came all the way down to the top of the circle, picked up the puck, and it was just a maze of players in front of Sloan. He didn't even see the shot, and the Raiders up 4-3.
Off the faceoff. Here comes Meacham. Meacham across with Walsh. He feeds it through a little bit too far, and Walsh tries the center. He gets tied up. The puck bounces free. Here's Timmy O'Shea, who's getting his first action to Walsh. Shot, save made by Sloan. Potsdam clears the puck. O'Shea should be well rested here in this third period, as he sat to for his unsportsmanlike of the last game. Now the puck comes to Smith at his own blue line. Headman. Walsh gets a piece of it, knocks it away. Intercepted by Kelleher, dumps it off a skate into the Massena zone. After it is Cameron. Cameron gets tied up behind the net. Good check thrown by Hoos. The puck in behind. They bang at it. Still free. Side of the net. Finally, it's ripped around the boards. Kept in at the blue line by the Potsdam defense. They try to flip it into the corner. Kelleher skates after it there. Dumps it in behind the net. Puck takes a funny bounce. Meacham picks it up in front of the net and then manages to move it down the ice. And it's going to go all the way down for icing against Massena. And the faceoff will move back inside Massena territory.
That fourth Massena goal coming early here in this third period. The 41-second mark is first of the year. Eric DeRossi stepping down from that right point, right down to the top of the circle. Mike Lapointe picking up the assist. Raiders lead 4-3.
Cormanius out there with his line mates now for Massena against the Beauvais line. Beauvais, Yulin. Well, I don't know who's going to be out there on that wing. We'll have to pick him up. Yulin was injured. Weegar is one of the wings. And I'll see if we can pick up the other one here. Off the face-off, puck in behind the net. Potsdam trying to dig for it. Cormanius gets a piece of it. Potsdam comes up with it. That's Weegar centering it right across the goal mouth. Nobody home for Potsdam. Sandstoners move it along the boards to the blue line, and it trickles out to neutral ice. Headman pass. Stoners move it to the Massena line again. Weegar trying to clear it in the zone, doesn't get it in there. Raiders move it a little bit. Now they poke check it ahead. Cormanius comes up with it and just lofts it down inside Potsdam territory. Sloan plays it in behind the... No, he's going to leave it for his defenseman, Allen. Allen trying to clear it. They move it out to center ice. It's going to be Barkley coming up with it. Barkley gets upended. The puck comes free. It's picked up by Nightingale, though, and the Raiders move it back out again. Nightingale has it knocked away. Delay offsides. Adam Barkley with the puck in his own end. Potsdam clears. Barkley clears to neutral ice. From the red line, he just dumps it deep in Potsdam territory. Puck around the boards in the corner. Comes free to the Raiders in front. Mankey's trying to come up with it. He couldn't. And it's poke checked out to center ice. Here comes Potsdam. They got a 3-on-1. Potsdam in the zone. Trying to center it. DeRossi makes a good play. The shot, a save by Long. I think it may have been wide. I'm not sure. Stoners with a golden opportunity. King back in there digging for it. Puck poke checked around the boards. All of a sudden, Potsdam had a 3-on-1 rush, but DeRossi played it beautifully. Here comes Potsdam again, centering pass right across the goal mouth, and Yannickas couldn't put a stick on it. Puck to the blue line, kept in at the point. Here's the drive. It's blocked out to neutral ice, and it comes to Mankey's. Mankey's has got a man breaking DeRossi, and he hit him in the back of the leg with a stick, or the puck rather, and it bounces back to neutral ice. Flipped ahead, DeRossi again, backhands it to the blue line, knocked away, comes to the Massena zone. Charlie Durant is there. Raiders lead it 4-3 on the A1 TV and Appliance scoreboard. Puck dumped back in the zone. Zach stops it behind the net for Durant. Charlie looks up ice, flips it ahead, and out to neutral ice. Here comes a race for the puck. DiAgostino trying to come up with it. He can't. Puck cleared back out to the Massena line. Durant steps to the red line, flips it ahead, gets it back again. We're playing between the blue lines right now, Coach. Neither team can really get anything going. Finally, Potsdam moves it, poke checked away. Getting it back again as Abe Adams flips to the Massena line, poked away, and here comes Day. For Massena, oh, and he had it, and then went offsides. Or at least they called it offsides. Day had it, looked like he and Lapointe were going to go in 2-on-1, and he just couldn't find the handle.
Great opportunity for the Sandstoners to tie this game up. Raiders got caught on a poor line change, and Potsdam broke away at the neutral zone 3-on-1. And Marty Andrews got in a little too deep. You mentioned Eric DeRossi played it well, did an excellent job. Andrews got in a little too deep before he gave up the puck. And then John Yannickas was able to get a shot off, and Zach Long did make the save, a big save.
Off the face-off, Potsdam controlling the puck. They move it down the ice. It's going to go in the corner off the stick of Zach Long. Raiders trying to move it out along the blue line. Don't clear the zone. Comes back to Lapointe. Lapointe circles in his own end. Looking up ice. Steps by a check. Takes it out to center ice. Steps by another check. Has it knocked away. Potsdam right back the other way. To the blue line. Across into the Massena zone. That's Andrews with it. Trying to center. It's intercepted by Day. And Day skates it ahead for Lapointe. Lapointe trying to corral it. Comes up with it. Takes it in on the right side. Winds up his shot. Score! That went right by Sloan. He didn't even move. And Mike Lapointe gives Massena a 5-3 lead.
Big goal with 9:59 left to go. Captain Mike Lapointe, an innocent-looking play, picked up the puck in the neutral zone and just crossed the blue line. And Jason Sloan wasn't screened. There was a defenseman in front of Mike Lapointe, but he had kind of shifted to one side, and that was probably, I'd say, around a 50-footer, and just beat him to the stick side. He didn't come out, didn't react, just didn't look good on that one.
Puck in the Potsdam zone again. Here's Kelleher with it. Kelleher in behind the net. Skates it right in front of his net, but clears it down the ice. Across the blue line, here comes Potsdam. Nice drop pass. Here's the shot. Zach makes the save on the shot by John Yannickas.
And Massena goes ahead 5-3, but bingo, back come the Sandstoners, and with that odd man rush, at first it was a 2-on-1 and then materialized in a 3-on-2, but you can't allow the opposition to get that good chance to get back right into the game that soon. Massena, again, a little sloppy in that defensive end.
Well, that's one thing about Potsdam. They never give up. Here's a shot. Zach makes the save and holds on. Long's had a good game in nets tonight for Massena.
Yes, he has. No question. Zach Long, who was a tower of power in that first period with 9 big saves and a lot of that action buzzing around, kept the Raiders in that game in the first period.
Off the faceoff, Meacham in behind the net. The puck underneath him. Now Potsdam controlling it. They move it around the horn. It comes free to Nightingale. Nightingale goes to O'Shea on the left wing. Timmy looking to head man. Nobody there for Massena. And the Stoners move it back to the red line. Dumping into the Massena zone. Barkley picks it up there. Has it bounced by him in behind the net. He tries to flip it around to Nightingale, right back to Barkley. Here comes Barkley now down the right side. Has it knocked away, gets it back again, and then flips it out to center ice. Now the puck knocked away. Here comes Walsh. Nice head man to O'Shea, except O'Shea is ahead of the play in offsides.
Let's see if that 5th goal by Captain Mike Lapointe, and that was his 3rd of the year, with Jeff Day picking up the assist at the 5:01 mark, is going to take some steam out of this Potsdam club. Looking down, Jerry, I don't know if you remember the movie The Mummy. Well, Assistant Captain Charlie Durant's got enough tape on his legs. It reminds me of The Mummy with all that tape hanging off. He must have 2 rolls out there.
Off the faceoff, Potsdam controls the puck in their own end. Tommy Ormond flips it from the red line into the Massena zone. In behind the net, Durant with it. Goes around to DeRosie. DeRosie ahead. Andy St. Thomas lost it in his skates. Trying to get it back again. It trickles out to center ice to Cormanius. Here comes Cormanius from Massena. Winds from the blue line. Sloan makes the save on a high riser, and the puck goes into the corner. Stoners come up with a Yannickas, dumps it down the ice. I don't think that's going to go far enough for icing as DeRosie gets back on it. Picks it up, whacks it ahead to the blue line. Back in the zone. That came out, didn't it?
I thought it did.
But they wave the offsides off, and Durant has to come up with it. Goes around the boards to DeRosie, ahead to St. Thomas, and St. Thomas just deflects it down the ice. Not far enough for icing. Racing forward is Larry Allen, moves it ahead to the Massena line. A lot of bodies flying now. DeRosie with it, drops it to Charlie Durant. Durant looked for Nick Cormanius. Little bit too far. Comes back into the Massena. Well, not quite to the zone. Durant picks it up. He'll go to St. Thomas, and he just deflects it right on, and Sloan makes the save. Massena makes a line change, and the puck comes to the blue line, but not out of the zone. Now the Stoners will move it out, and down the ice it comes. Here comes Kelleher. His shot. Zach makes the save, and it goes in behind the net. Puck comes free to Charlie Durant. Durant flips it along the boards for Anthony DiAgostino. His headman pass to Mankies goes behind him, and back in the zone comes Potsdam. Here comes Marty Andrews, taken out of the play by DeRosie. DeRosie up on the wing as they try to clear the zone, and it's kept in there by the Stoners. Here's an opportunity for Hoos. He had his stick lifted. Puck sits in front of the net. A backhander. Zach makes the save. Puck in the corner. There's going to be a penalty on Massena, as Charlie's going to be called for holding, I believe, Charlie Durant. Cross-checking.
Cross-checking. He's the guy that lifted Jonathan Hoos' stick on that right side, made a good play. Hoos in good position to trigger it, and as he went, he was only about 15 feet out to the left along. Charlie lifted his stick, and Hoos fanned on it, but Hoos stayed with it, and Charlie stayed with him and cross-checked him from behind in front of the net, and that's where the penalty. Potsdam desperately needs to get one right now. 7:07 left, down by 2. They've got to turn this momentum around. And I know every time the Raiders go to the bench, I'm sure the coaching staff are saying shoot, 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 because Potsdam goaltender is not his strongest game, I'm sure, young Mr. Sloan.
Face off in the Massena zone. Hoos out there to take it for Potsdam. Off the draw. Puck comes back along the boards to the blue line. Kelleher, nice pass over on the other side. They move it around the horn, in behind. Stoners control. It's Fisher after it. Fisher trying to get it back. Day dives for it. Can't come up with it. Comes to Kelleher. Here's Kelleher skating in. Goes to Fisher. Fisher shot right on. Goes in the net. Well, that one, Potsdam's given up some soft ones. Well, Massena gave up a soft one right there.
But no fault to Zach Long. His defenseman in front of him. The shot came from a weak shot from the point. Nice job by number 4, Timmy Kelleher. We talked about him being the quarterback. Kept the puck in, made a couple of nice passes, and went down to the left board. And I'm not sure if who took the, if it was Fish or not, took the shot from the left point. But it was going to go wide of the net. But the Massena defenseman, and the rule is if the puck is wide of the net, don't put your stick on it. He stuck his stick down to catch it, and what he did, he didn't handle it. He redirected it right between the legs of Zach Long.
So now it's a one-goal game again. 5-4 for Massena. Puck back in the Potsdam zone. Around the horn they go, and out to center ice. Long headman pass goes all the way back. They wave the icing off. Cameron in after it, trying to flip it around the side of the net, and the Raiders control. And out to neutral ice it goes. Clint Kerwin with it. Dumped back in the zone. I think we got a delay offsides call, but Potsdam clears the zone. Massena with the puck. Raiders move it. Bubba Girard. Headman pass. Here comes Day with it. Day takes it across with LaPointe. Drop pass to LaPointe. He winds up his shot. Hit the crossbar and goes up into the stands. Oh.
We mentioned the Sandstoners needing a goal to get back in here on that power play, and no sooner said than done. Timmy Kelleher picking up the assist on Scott Fisher's goal. It was Fisher who drifted the puck. He was probably halfway down the boards between the blue line and the goal line. A shot that was going to go wide of the net, going to go through the crease area, go wide, but the Massena defenseman deflected it, put a stick on it, and in between the legs of Zach Long.
And that is a power play goal for the Potsdam Sandstoners, so we need to pick a Powerade power play winner, and the winner is Sean Deshane of Massena. Sean Deshane of Bernie Avenue in Massena is a winner of a case of Powerade on the Powerade power play.
I think Sean's a hockey player. I think he's a goaltender.
Off the face-off, puck comes back in the Massena zone. Barkley trying to flip it around the boards. Potsdam's Fisher comes up with it. Around the boards, it bounces side of the net. Barkley again, he'll try the other side. Around the boards to O'Shea, and O'Shea moves it out to center ice to Walsh. Little bit too far. Kelleher comes up with it. Kelleher flips it. O'Shea has it knocked down, comes back to Walsh. Walsh looking, flips it ahead for Timmy O'Shea. Here comes O'Shea in the corner. Centering pass goes to the side of the net. Puck comes to Walsh. He can't get a stick on it. O'Shea digging for it, goes back to Walsh. Walsh looks to center, but it's knocked away, and the Stoners move it up into the stands. We got an injured player down on the ice. That's Kelleher, and the faceoff will come inside Potsdam territory to the left of goaltender Jason Sloan. Kelleher getting up a little bit slow, but he's okay.
Yeah, he's in some discomfort. Mentioned the coaching staff out there, Coach Joe Stark, and along with trainer Brian Kurish, but I'm sure that Kelleher is going to wave this one off. He's a little bit, I don't know what happened. If he took a stick in the groin or not, but 5:11 left in this hockey game. 5-4 in favor of the Raiders. Face-off coming to the left of Jason Sloan.
Meacham's line out there now. Meacham out there with O'Shea and Walsh.
Coach Joe Stark maintaining he wants to see that face-off outside the zone. He thought the Potsdam had cleared the zone, but the puck came over the boards. It was Potsdam that provided the impetus.
Cleared it into the stands.
Cleared it into the stands. But as all good coaches, you try to work an angle. Maybe the next close one you might get it, but that one wasn't even close, Joe.
No, afraid not. No argument there. Potsdam coming back with a John Hoos line. 5:11 left in the third period. A1 TV and Appliance scoreboard says 5-4 for Massena. Potsdam playing musical players now. They're switching them in and out of there, and they finally, I guess, are set with who they're going to go with. Hoos will take the face-off against Meacham off the draw. Meacham in the corner goes to Walsh. Walsh looks for O'Shea, a little bit too hard. The puck goes all the way around and out to center ice, and there's a whistle behind the play, and I think we're going to have a penalty on who? On Magic Miners?
Jonathan Hoos is involved in it, and young Eric Meacham. Let's see. Yep, Eric Meacham and Captain Jonathan Hoos are both going to pick up Miners with 5:04. We were just going to say that line that's just been reunited for for the Raiders this period. O'Shea, Meacham, and Walsh have really been on a hot streak. I think they've had 34 points so far this season, and 13 coming in the last 2 games. So they've been hot.
So we got 4-on-4 plus the goaltenders now. O'Shea and Walsh stay out there. Potsdam will have Adams out there. Hey, they got too many men on the ice.
Yeah. Simple math. 6 minus 1 equals 5, and
off the face-off, bouncing puck controlled by Charlie Durant from Massena. Hey, Joe tries to get every angle he can. Here's Justin winding up. His shot is gloved by Sloan, leaves it in behind the net. Here's O'Shea, dipsy doodling, gets tied up, has it go underneath him, gets back up again. Puck bounces free. Walsh is in there digging for it. Justin with the puck, trying to go back to the point, but it's out to center ice, as DeRosie had just vacated that point. Charlie Durant with it, flips it ahead for Walsh, looks for O'Shea, across the blue line, poke checked away, Walsh keeps it in. Nice job by Walsh. Goes to Timmy O'Shea, his shot hit the side of the net. Here's O'Shea in the corner, gets tied up. The puck underneath him, comes to Walsh again. Walsh has it knocked away, and the Stoners control. It's Adams. Here comes Abe Adams down the ice for Potsdam. In the Massena zone, his shot goes wide into the corner. Racing in after it there. The Stoners trying to come up with it. Puck bouncing away. That was Larry Allen. Allen still fighting for it in the circle. Puck bounces free in front. Charlie Durant wisely clears it into the corner. Back to the blue line. Smith's shot is blocked. Here comes O'Shea. Can't come up with it. Got a delay offsides on Potsdam, but Massena clears. Here's DeRosie. Here's the shot by Walsh, and he broke his stick. Puck comes in behind the net. Potsdam breaks out of there, and they're going to dump it to an open wing. And it's going to trickle into the Massena zone. Still 5-4 Raiders lead, 3.5 left to play third period. Here comes Joey Weiskopf. Nice headman pass to Cormanius. Back to Weiskopf, it's blocked. Here's Smith with it. Flipping it in the zone, into the Massena zone. Durant with it, around the boards for Joey Weiskopf. Weiskopf to Meacham. Meacham headman, doesn't get out of the zone. Potsdam keeping it in momentarily. Now comes to DeRosie, kicks it ahead, and Cormanius moves it out to center ice. Going to be a penalty on Potsdam, and that's going to be a cross-check, I would think. Yep, Smith cross-check Cormanius right in the head.
I tell you, Andy Smith, and he wears that C. Again, a bad penalty. He just got, he and Timmy O'Shea were locked up just a few seconds before that, right in front of the Raider bench, and holding on to each other. And I hadn't seen an official do this before, but Mike St. Louis reached over and grabbed one of the players, I think it was a Massena player, and pulled him off. And, I thought it was a good move. He didn't want to call a penalty. But Andy Smith, with 3:10, your club down a penalty. You can't take penalties like that. That's just a bad call. And
is this Massena's first power play? No, I don't think it is. They had a brief one, and then they picked up a penalty. So Massena going on their second power play of the game with 3:10 left in the third period. The Raiders with a 1-goal lead, 5-4.
Again, you can't put your own frustrations ahead of the team. You just can't do it.
Cormanius out there to take the draw, but Potsdam wins the faceoff. They trickle it across the Massena zone. Coming back for it are the Raiders. Joey Weiskopf with it, drops it to Cameron. Cameron flips it around the boards. It's going to be kept in by Potsdam. Then they move it out, just ragging the puck back across offsides. Oh! As John Yannickas brought it back out, and Hughes was still in the zone, brought it right back in again, and offsides the call as Potsdam had control of the puck.
I wish we had we're always talking about stats, and I'd like to keep a new one at the beginning of the year. Lost mouthpieces. I tell you.
They've been all over the ice tonight, haven't they? Off the face-off, Raiders. DeRosie has it knocked away again. Here comes Yannickas in the zone. Centering pass in front. Here's Hughes, short side shot, saved by Long. Puck in behind the net. Massena having trouble on this power play. Haven't even been able to clear their zone yet. Now finally Durant takes it out. He dumps it into the zone. Puck rounds the boards. Cormanius in after it. Cormanius looking for Lapointe. Lapointe takes it by. Back to Cormanius. Hit the side of the net with it. May have been the post. Cormanius rips it around the boards the other way. It'll come back to DeRosie at the right point. DeRosie to Lapointe. Winds up his shot. Score! I don't know if Cormanius got it on the way through. I think he did.
Yeah, he did. No question.
And the Raiders take a 6-4 lead on the power play. And that'll be Massena's 6th goal with 2:18 left in the period.
Their first opportunity, and they cashed in on it. No question. Back to the point. Mike LaPointe, Captain Mike LaPointe, cranked one up from the right point, and Jason Sloan had it labeled all the way, but standing about 8 feet in front of him, Nick Kermanius, and he just reached over and deflected that, and young Mr. Sloan had no chance. It changed about 45 degrees right by him. Big goal gives the Raiders that 2-goal cushion, coming with 2:18 left in the hockey game.
And our Powerade power play winner. We already had him for a winner. We need another one. Okay, it is. Here's another chance for Massena. We'll pick our Powerade power play winner here in a moment. As Potsdam controls the puck in the Massena zone, back out to center ice. Into the Massena zone it comes. Here's a shot. We got a delay penalty on Massena, I believe. Yep, there's the whistle. And now Potsdam will go back on the power play. Who's the call on? It's going to be a slashing call against Meacham.
Never too late, Jerry. I'm sorry, but my eyes are deceiving me. I bet a quarter to a penny that Nick Kermanius deflected that in front of the net, but they gave the goal to Captain Mike LaPointe with Joey Weiska picking up the assist. But I'd be interested to talk to the players, to Nick Kermanius after this game to see if he got a stick on that. That thing changed direction.
Matt Reed is our Powerade power play winner. Matt Reed.
All right.
Or, excuse me, not Matt Reed, Mark Reed.
There you go.
That's Matt's younger brother. Mark Reed is our Powerade power play winner this time around for the Massena power play goal. Potsdam, I believe, Potsdam has called a timeout, I believe, here. And it's a 6-4 Massena lead, but the Stoners go on the power play. Something kind of interesting happened in that game against St. Francis on Saturday. Potsdam was down 1-0 with 43 seconds left, and a face-off in the St. Francis zone. They did not pull their goaltender. Why, I don't know. I forgot. I was going to ask Coach Joe Stark about that before the game tonight, and I forgot to.
On the other side of the coin, the Clarkson Golden Knights this past weekend, I think they played, according to the paper, the last 8 or 9 minutes of one of those games, either the Colgate or the Cornell game. They had pulled their goaltender. They're down 3 or 4 goals, and they played the last 8:44. We talked about bad penalties and youngsters. Here, the Raiders up by 2, 153. Eric Meacham, we've talked a lot about him, fine young sophomore. But, I mean, you're taking a slashing call. Not a good time to take a slashing call. And I'm sure the coaching staff's going to have a couple of words to young Mr. Meacham.
Okay, we've got a face-off in the Massena zone. Who's out there to draw against Cormanius? 1:53 left, third period. Raiders trying to kill a penalty off the draw. Puck comes back to the blue line. Kelleher fakes the shot, goes over on the other side. Around the horn it goes, bounces in front. It's deflected back to the circle. Who's again to Kelleher? Kelleher excellent at the point in the power play, but this time he has it knocked away. Puck bounces away, and a sprawling poke check by LaPointe gets it out to center ice. Potsdam turns it back the other way. They dump it across. That's going to be an offsides on Potsdam if they touch it. Well, they're going to call it anyway, even though Potsdam didn't touch it, and move the faceoff back outside. 1:27 left, third period. 1:04 in the Potsdam power play. 6-4 Massena leads.
And you mentioned that St. Francis game not pulling the goaltender. Again, 1:27, 1:30. You got a man advantage down by 2. Might be an opportune time to pull your goaltender there, Jerry.
O'Shea coming out now with Walsh, Cameron, and Bubba Girard off the faceoff. Puck bounces around at neutral ice. Justin Walsh tomahawks it ahead to the Potsdam blue line. Here comes Kelleher again. Kelleher into the zone. Winds up his shot. Fired it wide, but not by much. And the puck goes all the way around out to neutral ice. Here comes Hoos with it. Hoos gets the return pass and starts it back. Jonathan Hoos with it. Trying to flip it ahead for Kelleher. Kelleher dumps it into the Massena zone. Cameron. And we got another offsides. Oh, boy. Yeah, that's what it is, all right. Those hurt at this stage of the game.
They certainly do. Potsdam, again, has not looked overly strong on that power play. I'm just checking back. They did get one power play goal at the, in fact, their last goal, Fisher's goal from Kelleher was a power play, and I think that's the only power, and they've had a lot of opportunities tonight.
Nick Cormanius to take the face-off right back out there. Wins the draw to the Potsdam line. Stoners from center ice. And I think Zach got a piece of that one on the way through. Bouncing puck to the blue line. Cormanius can't get it out of there. It's poked into the zone. In behind the net, Durant after it to DeRozzi. DeRozzi can't find the handle. Now they pull their goalie, finally. And LaPointe clears it down the ice. It's going to be an icing call. No, it isn't. They're killing a penalty still. So that's one advantage, I guess you could say, if you want to have two men down. Now the puck cleared out to neutral ice. LaPointe takes the shot at the open net and scores. LaPointe gets his hat trick in the open net. And the Raiders go ahead 7-4 and will win this hockey game. And I'll tell you what, I have to tell you right now, Dave, they are fortunate to be where they are right now.
Yeah, you read in the paper tomorrow, you look at the score 7-4, and you're going to say, oh, well, Massena must have dominated them, but they certainly didn't.
Oh,
I agree with you.
Not.
This game was a lot closer than 7-4, and some strange goals out there tonight on both sides, but the Sandstoners, with a little bit of luck, could be even Steven here, if not...
Unassisted, a shorthanded goal.
Shorthanded, unassisted goal. That's the second shorthanded in the game.
And
that's an empty netter.
That was a 59-footer.
He had two long ones tonight. Puck in behind the net, in the Massena zone. Raiders just moving it ahead. Cameron now dipsy-doodling, wasting time, goes to Gerard on the other side. Bubba bangs it ahead. Of course, Sloan's back in the net now. So Bubba decided not to shoot down the ice. And the puck in the corner, pushing and shoving going on. Smith in there digging for it. The whistle blows, the buzzer sounds, and that'll take care of it right there. And now there's a little bit of a mix-up behind the net. The Raiders win it 7-4, and will go to their 8th straight victory. Massena now at 8-2 on the year. They've won 8 in a row. And this one was a tough one. Potsdam played very well through, the first half of the game anyway. And the turning point, I think, was that penalty. Could have been, the shorthanded goal was a big turning point, too.
Yeah, both of those crucial points. But I know the Coach Joe Stark saw a lot of positive things out here. Few negatives. I'm sure Coach Long, after that first period, he had a few negatives to say to his team. They were about 4 minutes late coming out to start that second period. I'm sure he blistered them, and I think they heard the words because they turned it around somewhat. But again, 7-4, not indicative of this hockey game tonight.
Once again, the final, Massena wins it 7-4. Stay tuned for the post-game show on WMSA.